I think we're tired of surviving. I think we, as a species, humanity, is tired of surviving. And we have these fun, catchy phrases like, stop surviving, start thriving. But I don't feel good about the word thrive. I don't know about you, but and feel free to feel differently, truly. But to me, the word thrive sounds like a lot of work. That sounds tiring. And I'm tired. That's the whole point. I'm tired of surviving. I don't have the energy to do whatever this thriving thing looks like, because it sounds like doing. It sounds like action. It sounds busy. And I get it, it's a pithy, catchy saying. The words rhyme, survive and thrive. But I don't think thrive is what we want. I don't think it's what we're aiming for. I think that's just another version of survival that is prettied up and painted over to look like you're enjoying it more. I think it's just survival that is meant to look more appealing. That's what it feels like to me. That's what the word thrive feels like to me. And what I want, and what I think humanity wants, is just to live. We just want to be alive. That to me feels like giving up survival. And to the mind, that sounds contradictory, of course, and it is kind of paradoxical. The mind says to give up surviving means to die. But we're not living until we give up surviving. We are just surviving. So, if giving up surviving means facing death, I think more accurately, means accepting the possibility of death, because this is what we think these words mean, right? Not surviving means death. So I want to stop surviving. I can recognize that. I want to stop struggling. I want to stop trying all of the work and the effort put into keeping this body alive. I'm tired. I don't have the reserves for it anymore. So I want to give up surviving. And paradoxically, that is when we discover life. When we give up the fight, when we give up the fight against death, because we perceive death as this thing which is trying to claim us, which at every turn is seeking to make us its next victim. If we stop fighting, and we accept the potential of death, the reality of that it's going to happen at some point anyway, we just stop resisting that. There's immediately more ease in the first place. And we have to then start admitting other things. Like, we don't actually know what death is. Nobody knows, actually. It has only been turned into this haunting specter, this certainty, the certainty of death. There's certainty that it will occur, but beyond that, there's nothing certain about it. And so death itself has been turned into this stone wall, this final period, this some sort of ultimate destruction. But nobody knows that. That's not a thing that is known. We don't know anything about death. And we can only realize and accept that we don't know anything about death when we actually accept the reality of death and we stop trying to survive it. And when we stop trying to survive death, it starts to make sense that death is not a thing that needs surviving because it doesn't kill you. It doesn't destroy you. There's no actual destruction there. There's a change, there's a shift, there's transition. This begins to be something that we feel. No, we can't prove it. We can't prove anything about death. We don't know anything about death. Doesn't that actually suggest that there is more to it? That it is not what we think it is? Because we don't know what it is? If death were some absolute finite thing, wouldn't we absolutely know that? Wouldn't that be so clear that there was no debate whatsoever about this? Wouldn't it just be so obvious that no one could argue about it anymore? If we knew obviously what death was, what it entailed, wouldn't we just agree? But we don't. And the fact that we don't suggests there is more to it than what we can understand with minds. That there's more there. There's something more there. The very unknown nature of it renders it open, makes it an open door. Can you see that? Can you see that when the mind creates the illusion of death as some sort of absolute thing, that is what it is and there's no discussion about it, well, what is it then? What is it? It makes it appear as though it is a locked door, as though it's final, as maybe even a dead end, a wall. It's a brick wall. But if you just look a little closer and you go, I don't actually know that. Nobody actually knows that. Then you see it's not a wall at all. It's a corridor. That wall is part of a corridor. You were just facing the wall instead of looking down the hallway. But the mind can't handle unknown. It can't handle the potential of infinity, the potential of continuation that it can't project into. It can't handle that. It projects as far as it can, and then the end of its projection looks like an end, looks like a wall. The mind cannot comprehend eternity. But you can. You can experience eternity. You experience it as constant continuation. You experience eternity as not knowing what is coming. But more and more, there is more coming. There is always something coming. And it's good that you can't know it. If you could know it, it would be finite. To know the whole of a thing means you have reached the end of it. The fact that you can't know the whole of your being, know the whole of your experience, that you can't know where this is going, is the experienced, demonstrated truth of the eternity of being. So the mind creates the illusion of certain death as a sort of end in order to cover up, to hide from the fear of your infinitude. It's not really fear, it's just intensity. It's overwhelming. The mind can't comprehend that. It creates the illusion of death out of the fear of your infinity. Death as a certainty. Death as destruction. And really, what is death otherwise? There really is no death. There is dying, and there is the transition that dying takes you through. But that is just an ebb to which there is always a flow. One of these is not really dying and the other living. It's all living. It's all a form of living. Like the rest is a form of music. The song continues. And so only when we give up trying to survive do we find the peace and the ease of living and realize that life is uncertainty. Life is unknowing. That's what imbues it with the qualities that we know as life, as alive. That's what makes it present and breathing. The minute you think you know something and you affix it with this certainty, you've killed it. You've made it dead. In order to bring aliveness back to life, you have to stop being certain about it, which is an illusion anyway, an illusion of the mind. The mind just projects this illusion of certainty over everything. It's not real. It's not actual. Nothing is certain. Nothing is certain. Nothing is absolute. You don't know what anything is. All you can know for sure, ever, is that what is being in this moment. That's it. You can know that this moment exists. You can know that everything that you are sharing this moment with, that everything that is making up this moment is happening now. And you can know by your being aware of it that you are happening now. You're somehow mixed in with all of this happening that is now and here. And beyond that, there is nothing you can know for sure. And that is a good thing. Realizing that, dwelling in that awareness and that realization allows life to be alive, to be evolving, to be growing, to be constantly flowing and shifting and moving, to be this living, breathing, moving picture of senses and shapes and smells. And that is what we want. That is what we were longing for. We are longing for the aliveness of life. And in order to put ourselves back in touch with the aliveness of life, we have to give up surviving. We have to give up trying to pin it down, to fix it, to nail it into place. When we do that, we just make it feel dead. And then we hate it anyway. We are longing to let everything go. We are longing to let ourselves go. We are longing to let everything be. That is living. Fuck thriving. That's work. That's effort. Life thrives. Thriving is a doing. Living allows life to thrive. That's how I feel. Maybe that doesn't sound different, but it feels different to me. It is the allowance of the thriving that is naturally, effortlessly taking place when we just stop trying to survive. When we just give up. We give up the fight. And I think we're tired enough, finally, for that. The mind has exhausted our resources. We are tired of surviving. It had to reach that point. We weren't going to just give it up on our own, just make that choice. We had to be left with no option. We cannot sustain in survival mode. We have to give up surviving. Now we want to. We're realizing that we're exhausted. This is what is exhausting us. Survival is what is exhausting us. That's why so many people say, I'm just tired. I'm tired of my bones. I'm burnt out on existing. I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down. I want to rest. And we think that means we want to die. We want to stop existing. What it really means is accepting death. Is accepting that death is okay. Is saying, I'm okay with not continuing in this form. What I'm not okay with is continuing the struggle. I can't do that. I don't have that in me. And when we give up the struggle and we accept death as a potential, death as a reality, and then we start again having to acknowledge we really don't know anything about death. Whatever this death thing means, I'm willing to face it now because I'm too tired to keep running from it. I'm too tired to keep covering up the unknowns, to keep trying to predict, to control for every variable. I'm too tired. I finally give up because I don't have the energy for that anymore. And when we do that, the door opens. Life opens. It becomes alive again in this soft, gentle, effortless way that is not necessarily energetic, but it is softly humming. It's this gentle thrum. You hear the heartbeat again. Don't you have to be still and silent to hear the heartbeat? That's what it is. The thriving of life that is just allowing living, which means giving up survival. It's the quiet, steady thump of a heartbeat. It is the rise and fall of breath. It's not some pounding trance beat. It's not the sound of the city. It's not cheers. It's not up in energy. It's not vibrant, bright neon colors. It's subdued, but steady. It's soft. It's gentle. It's embracing. We want to either live or die. We're tired of the in-between. We're tired of trying to do one or the other. And when we let ourselves face the potential and the reality of death, and we say, okay, I accept that, I just can't fight anymore, we realize that everything is an open door. We had been pounding our hands against the brick of this wall for millennia. We're finally realizing we're not getting anywhere. This isn't doing anything. We're tired. And when we just step back from the wall, we stop trying to break through it. We realize It was never blocking us from anything. That was never an obstacle. We never needed to get past that wall. There's all this other space here. Open space where we can just breathe and just be. To give up surviving, really, truly, is to allow living. And to allow aliveness to be restored to your experience. And I think we're ready for it. Humanity, I think this is what we're asking for. And so it is. I love you. Take it easy.